If there's one thing I've talked about often on this channel, it's the importance of having an emergency fund. An emergency fund acts like a shield between you and high interest debt. In the book The Total Money Makeover, Dave Ramsey notes the importance of starting off with a $1,000 emergency fund. Saving your first $1,000 in an emergency fund is your first step toward financial independence. That $1,000 is not there to make you rich. It's there to absorb the cost of any sudden emergency spending you might have. For example, nearly 40% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency expense without using a credit card and going into debt. Worse than that, according to 2019 GoBankerRates.com study, 58% of Americans have less than $1,000 in a savings account. Worse still is the fact that 58% mentioned before, 32% of Americans have no money saved in a savings account whatsoever. Now I get it. It might be hard for some of you to save $1,000. We've all got different responsibilities and expenses. How to save $1,000 is Dave Ramsey baby step 1 for a reason though. It's essential. I know saving money is hard, but don't worry. Enhanced Finance has got your back as always. I'm going to give you some knowledge that you should be able to act on today. I'm going to give you 3 quick and easy ways to save your first $1,000. In today's video, we're going to talk about saving your first $1,000 as quickly as possible. I'm going to tell you what Dave Ramsey baby step 1 is, why it's so important to your financial future, and how you can complete that step more quickly. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to our channel, click the like button, and watch this video to the end. The first quick and easy way to save your first $1,000 is to sell your stuff. Now, I'm not saying sell the things that you use every day. I'm not saying it's all the things that you love. What I'm saying is to sell the things that you don't use anymore. This will really help you to get your emergency fund started. For instance, I had an old childhood toy that I found. It was still in its original box and everything. I was able to contact a collector I knew on Facebook and make arrangements to sell him my toy that same day. He paid me through PayPal, and I shipped him my toy within the hour. Not a bad way to make money on a boring Saturday. You don't have to have toys to sell. You don't have to know a collector. All you need is a cell phone that's capable of taking pictures and an eBay account, and you can get the old items in your house sold quickly. Your daily perk. The second quick and easy way to save your first $1,000 is to stop buying expensive coffee. If you've been anywhere in the social media personal finance space, you knew the suggestion was coming. I understand you need your caffeine in the morning to start your workday. I use intermittent fasting to help me maintain my weight, and coffee is an amazing aid in suppressing hunger. However, buying a coffee at an expensive coffee shop can quickly add up. The average price of a Starbucks coffee in the United States is $2.75 and as much as $4.30 if you live in New York City, my hometown. Now, assuming you get a cup of coffee once a day, Monday through Friday, you spend $55 a month on the average cup of Starbucks coffee and $86 per month if you happen to purchase coffee in New York City. You can see how this quickly adds up. At that rate, buying an average cup of Starbucks coffee would cost a person $660 in a year. In my hometown of New York City, that would cost a person $1,032 in 1 year. You'd be well on your way to saving your first $1,000 in that emergency fund if you stop buying expensive coffee. People might say, that's nice, but what can I do instead to get my caffeine? I would suggest that you have 2 options. The first option is the least attractive one. Drink the coffee provided at work. Nicer offices might have one of those Flavia Creation Series coffee machines. They use flavor pouches and make a decent cup of coffee. The best part is that it's provided by the office, so it's free for you. Your second option is to buy a coffee maker and other materials and make coffee at home. You can still have Starbucks coffee at a fraction of the cost. A box of 32 Starbucks Caffè Verona K-Cups costs $22 on Amazon. That's 69 cents a piece. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to see for yourself. If you still drink 1 cup of homemade coffee once a day, Monday through Friday, assuming you already have milk, sweetener, and coffee cups at home, you spend $3.50 per week on coffee. That turns out to be $14 per month, a savings of $41 per month over the average cost of Starbucks, and $72 per month if you live in New York City. You could save $492 per year against the average cup of Starbucks, or $864 per year against the cost of Starbucks in New York. Meal prep. The third quick and easy way to save your first $1,000 is to make meals at home. This recommendation is in the same vein as the previous one. Zagat says the average American dines out 5.9 times per week for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with the average cost is $36.40 per person. That translates to $215 per week spent on eating outside of the home. That might seem unbelievable, but $215 per week is about $31 per day. It's easy to spend that much money on food absent-mindedly. For example, A popular lunch destination at my job is Chipotle, where the average person can expect to spend $11 per meal. If you spend $11 every workday and work 250 days per year, you can expect to spend $2,750 per year just on lunch. There's a way to still eat all the food you enjoy and still save quite a bit of money. Forbes.com found that on average, you can make the same food with the same ingredients you would have at a restaurant for a fifth of the price at home. So that means, if in our previous example, one decided to make his or her own Chipotle-style food at home and bring it to work, it would cost them $2.20 per day. This means that they would save $8.80 per day over the cost of going to Chipotle. This would result in a savings of $2,200 per year, more than twice what the beginning emergency fund calls for. Gas prices. So thank you for watching this far. I'd like to give you a bonus quick and easy way to save money. Stop buying premium gas. According to the U.S. Energy and Information Administration, premium fuel nationally averages about 60 cents more per gallon than regular gasoline and 25 cents more than mid-grade gas. Assuming the average American car has a 16-gallon gas tank and needs to be refueled once a week, premium gas will cost drivers $9.60 per week more than regular gas. That turns out to be $499.20 per year. Some of you might argue that your car needs premium gas because it says so on your owner's manual. While that might very well be in the owner's manual, it's still unlikely that your car needs premium fuel. Premium may simply be recommended and not required. Generally speaking, only high-performance cars need premium gas. Modern cars are more often able to change engine timing to allow for lower octane gas to be used. This means your car will operate smoothly on lower octane fuel without the engine knocking. Taking your first step toward financial independence can be hard, but saving your first $1,000 to fund your emergency fund is crucial. It may be difficult, but it can be achieved through just a bit of sacrifice. Sell the things in your home that you no longer use. You'd be surprised how much money you can get for them. Stop buying expensive coffee. Making coffee at home instead of going to Starbucks can save the average American over $500 per year. Last, make your meals at home. You can save $2,200 per year simply by making food at home instead of going to a restaurant. If you implemented all of these strategies, you should be able to save $3,000 in 2022. That's enough to fund your beginning emergency fund 3 times over. If you enjoyed this video, then check out these videos on your screen that I've selected just for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.